Hello, welcome to another Mr. Games official video. Today we have a home theatre PC build. It's kind of home theatre and might thrash a few games on it as well. So yeah, we've got kind of a gaming setup, but we've got it all in a real small case, small configuration. So we'll just go through the parts that we've got. We've got a Lian PC-Q08 case, yeah. The reason why we picked this one is it supports 6 hard drives, but 4 if you're using a long graphics card instead of the Q11. So yeah, I'll do an unboxing on that later. Yeah, this router, just for the reasons that this is going to be portable. We've got a H55N USB 3 micro RTX motherboard from Gigabyte. Got a Blueray, just a Blueray / DVD writer. Yeah, it's not a burner. It's just for playback. Got 2 Enermax fans, 120mm and 140mm. G-Skill rip jaws, 2000 MHz. Yeah, there's the settings. CL9. So we've got those because we've got a bit of a deal on those. Seasonic M12 2 bronze 620W power supply. Apparently the fan is either inaudible or turns off on idle, can't remember exactly, but yeah, we'll have a look at that later. Got a Radeon 6870, the new Powercolor version, so it's got the 120mm fan on it, and we've got a Core i5 760 processor. So yeah, I'll just get all these boxes open and I'll start the build. Alright, so basically got this whole case pulled apart. It's very fingerprint happy, as you can see here. Alright, here we go, look inside, you can see straight through it. It's a bit flimsy, but not as flimsy as I would have thought with nothing on the inside. Now, normally this hard drive thing sits about here, and there used to be another one below it, and I've just changed it for this one here, so the graphics card actually goes and sits through here. This makes it so you've still got support in the middle of the case for all the other hard drives and all that kind of stuff, so yeah, I've attached that. This is where the CD drive goes, but to install a CD drive you actually have to unscrew it from these holes here, which are there like that. The whole thing comes down, and the actual CD drive itself comes in from the top, and then you screw it in the sides. So yeah, that's with the CD drive, and yeah, I've been told by this, I'm just going by it, that yeah, the CD drive is one of the first things you have to do, so yes, do not throw this installation guide out. You'll be in big trouble if you do. Alright, so yeah, I'll get a little bit more done and I'll get back to you. Alright, we've just changed this fan on the back of these with our Enermax fan. And this is the old fan here. So we didn't really want the blue lights, anyways. So, now, what I've done is I've actually taken this whole faceplate out. We didn't need to take the faceplate out, but I thought I'd film this so you guys don't have to. The way it works is quite simple. Those holes, they fit those little rubber grommets, and then you slide it. So you could just, when it's normally in there like that, you slide it out and you can let it go. But yeah, I took the whole thing off because I didn't see that from my perspective. But yeah, so I'm showing you guys that so you don't have to take this out. And for the actual case itself, we've got our hard drive in here, and we've put our Blu-ray player in here. But we've taken the faceplate off because I actually think it looks quite nice like that. But yeah, comment on it, give us your ideas, whatever you guys think. And yeah, so that's the original, that's the faceplate there. So yeah, let us know what you think. And yeah, I'm gonna get the motherboard in and I'm gonna start finishing off now. Alright, so I've had a little bit of a think about it. I've put all the motherboard in and the RAM and all that stuff with the processor. What I'm going to do, I've taken the hard drive bay back out, and we're going to put this in now, because you can't, it's quite frustrating because this is like having a side panel, it's like having the motherboard on the side panel, so you can't have 2 side panels off once the motherboard's in. So I'm going to put this on that side, and then I can get my hand in here and do what I've got to do, and then I'll put the hard drive in last with the hard drive connections facing that way. So I'll plug them all in and slide it in, so we'll have a nicer finish on the end. But that means I'm going to have to put the power supply in and then the hard drive in last. So yeah, I'm going to try and do it in that method, and then yeah, we'll see how we go. Alright, so we've got the motherboard in and all that stuff. I might cable tie some of this a little bit nicer, but we've got to add still one more SATA cable which we don't have, which I don't know, maybe, I don't know, we'll see if we can find one. And yeah, I've got our front USBs plugged in into here, so it's just use USB 2. We're going to just use the USB 3s on the back. Not that there's any USB 3 devices out that I even know about at the moment. But anyways, so I've got the graphics card in, which is pretty good. One problem with the graphics card that you guys should probably know, the fan is here for the graphics card. That's a grill right here. That doesn't have anything to stop dust from coming in. So that's going to suck in dust, this graphics card. So you need to be careful about it. Every couple of months, have a check, see if there's, you know, dust in the fan or whatever. But this graphics card's pretty good. It's not one of those tiny fans. It's a pretty big fan, so it should be fine. I'm about to put the hard drive in here, this hard drive bay, and then we're going to use these SATA things here. But I've made them so that you can pull that whole tray out, and it will still be long enough. So I'm going to cable tie it down here somewhere, all this down here, so it's nice and tight down there, but still give me flexibility to pull the whole tray out here, so you can customize what hard drives you're doing and all that kind of stuff. And on the back, one issue I've had, it's not a huge issue, but this backing plate doesn't fit too, like it fits, but it was pretty fiddly to get in. Doesn't really line up too well. I don't know if you guys can see, but see the SP diff here? It's going a little bit to the right and all that stuff. Anyways, yeah, so I've got this in here, and yeah, so I've just got to put this Enermax fan at the top, get the power supply in, and then we should be finished. So we'll just a bit of cable tying. So yeah, and that's all. Alright, yeah, this is almost the last update. I've put in the power supply and all that stuff, and graphics card and everything else. Now, it looks like a massive bird's nest in here. It is so hard to hide everything, but I've kind of worked out how we're going to do it. So I've made it so pretty much to add and remove new hard drives, as it's a media center. You probably have movies, whatever you've got on it. I've made it so it's removable and you don't have to go fishing for cables. So what I've done is I've put in all these cables here, 2 for the graphics card, etc. Now, if you were doing this just for media center, no gaming, it would be different, because this would be slightly shorter, you'd have a little bit more room, you wouldn't have any PCI Express things, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I might see if I can get the camera under here, see if you can see. Anyway, there's nothing touching the motherboard or the fan. There's actually quite a bit of height back there. Oh no, there's no other way to see. But anyway, so yeah, now what I have to do is basically, when I lower this into the cage, into here, I've got my 3 SATA cables, 1, 2, and a black one here, number 3. They're all long enough for when you pull the cage out, you can get your hand in behind and move it. Now, the thing is, the DVD, Blueray drive, whatever, that's SATA as well, so that uses SATA power and a SATA connector. There's only 4 SATA ports on the motherboard, so you can only have 3 hard drives. Fair enough, it's still pretty good. So what I've had to do, this power is actually coming from the Blu-ray burner, first one, and that means that this one is going to be the only one that we can plug into the hard drives, because that one there doesn't come up high enough. It kind of does, but not really. It come up high enough for when you're pulling this cage up. This one itself is too low to kind of get your hand in there. You probably can, but you know, it doesn't matter anyway, because we have to add another one, because there's eventually going to be 3 hard drives in here. So this one will plug into the first hard drive, and then I've got my other ones down the bottom there, which we don't have the 2 other hard drives right now, but they're here, and that can come out to roughly, you know, this high. So when you pull the whole hard drive tray out, you're about to unplug it all and configure it and all that kind of stuff without messing around with it, trying to get in new cables. So basically, we're never going to have to touch anything else in here again. I found a nice place in here behind the CD drive to kind of curl up all these cables in here, and it's really hard because the outlet is here for those cables, and it's kind of pushing against that, so we had to go under and loop it and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think this Enermax fan looks pretty cool. That thing there. Got an Enermax fan in here. And yeah, so I'm going to get this hard drive in, and then I'm going to boot it up and see how we go. Alright, so now basically I've got the hard drive rack in. As you can see, there's hardly no room here. Enough to squeeze in some cables and stuff. There's a fair bit of storage room here, so for any future reference, you can actually fit a fair bit of stuff in here if you don't have too long a graphics card. Yeah, when you do this, just make sure you got no, you know, no cables in there that are going to interrupt this fan, and especially the processor fan. So yeah, I'm actually quite happy with this, so I'm going to get it booted up now. Yeah, so I've booted up, just letting it run in the BIOS for a little bit just to see, you know, how the temp on the processor goes. Something I just like to do at the start. I have 42 degrees, so I don't know if that's too good or not, but I'm going to have a bit of a look at it. And yeah, the build is fine, except this Powercolor ATI Radeon is making a bit of noise, so I think it might turn itself down after the drivers, but yeah, we'll see about that. Other than that, the other fans seem really quiet, so yeah, very nice build. So some things about this case: very fingerprint friendly, very fingerprint friendly. I'm just trying to get a bit close up. There you go. They're all the fingerprints just from building the thing. So if you're moving it around a lot because it's a media center, well, you know, different TVs and all that kind of stuff. Here's the back. These screws on the outside, we're really careful when you're using them. They can end up like that. Doesn't actually look as bad as what you guys can see in real life, but yeah, it's still a bit of a pain. These side panels are a bit of a pain. You kind of almost need two people to put them back on, especially when you've got the motherboard on that. If you've got a fault, you know, and you've got to take this one off, it's going to be really hard to do it by yourself as the motherboard's in. And to take this side off, you've got to take the graphics card out, and yeah, don't even go there. So man, it's not as quick as building a normal computer, but it still is relatively fast. But yeah, I don't know. It's the case itself. Once it's finished, wow, it looks fantastic. It's not that heavy. It's built quite well. It's pretty sturdy. You know, one other thing, the power supply kind of sags a little bit. So I don't know. But yeah, don't forget to comment and rate and subscribe to this video. Yeah, hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, thanks for watching.